Hi friends, welcome to the first official episode of Loving Books and Hoops, where I talk about my two favorite things. This week we're going to talk about 4 things. Number 1, what I'm reading. Okay, according to Storygraph, I am currently reading 2 books. One is Becoming Abolitionist, Police Protest and the Pursuit of Freedom by Derica Purnell. Don't let the bookmark fool you. I only have 1 chapter left. I've been listening to the audiobook, which is read by Derica Purnell, and it's very good. The other book I'm currently reading is called it's called Wayward Lives, Beautiful Experiments by Sadia Hartman. I'm currently reading that with my book club, Revolutionary Reads, and I'm only like a chapter in, so I'm not really sure what's happening yet, but it's good so far. Number 2, the transfer portal, because it's jumping. Whoa, girl, the transfer portal. There's literally so much to say about this portal. But I'm gonna start with the people who shocked me that came out into the portal. Of course, Olivia Miles. I was gagged for like 2 days. It was all like I was waking up thinking like, Olivia Miles really on transfer portal. And then there was Malaysia Full Wiley. Y'all know I'm a South Carolina truther, so that really broke my heart. Another shocker, Alucia Kanawa. Like, girl, you just won ACC. She was like the MVP of the tournament. Like, her and Duke went together really bad. Shocked. Color me shocked. But speaking of Alucia and transfer portal, she just committed to Maryland, and I have to say that they're winning the transfer portal right now. Like, Brenda Freeze got in her biggest bag, so they're gonna be scary next year. Also, shout out Ole Miss with Coach Yo. She's in her bag. She's quietly got a lot of pieces that she's pulled together. Scary. And 2, Mark Campbell out of TCU. They said he got like 5 new players who are all over 6'2". So, and Olivia Miles. So, we'll see how that works. Number 3, let's talk about the books I want to read by the end of the month. It's like a week left in April, so we got to get this moving. There are a lot of books I want to read, like I want to finish before April. Obviously, Becoming Abolitionist is one I think I will finish. I don't think I'm gonna get through Wayward Lives. But right now I'm actually on a graphic novels kick. I kid you not, I had started reading them because I was behind in my reading goal. And so I was like, oh, I'm just like read 1 or 2 to kind of get caught up. But when I say they've been itching a scratch, here are some of the ones that I've loved. Yeah. So if y'all have graphic novels or comic book recommendations, throw them in the comments, please and thank you. And number 4, I want to talk about Cathy Engelbert, who made some comments about Unrivaled, and she was getting jumped. So of course I have to put in my 2 cents. So before I give you my 2 cents, background. During the WNBA draft, Cathy Engelbert, who's the commissioner of the WNBA, spoke with the media, and someone asked her what she could take away from Unrivaled. And essentially Cathy said, I'm not taking anything away from them. They are a smaller organization, so things are gonna work differently for them. And do I think she should have said that like that? No. However, I don't disagree with her. She's right. Unrivaled is smaller, and with smaller ventures, you do things a different way. Now, do I think there are things she could have taken away from it? Not necessarily. I will say there are things surrounding Unrivaled that I think could be better, but I think my biggest issue with this conversation is just the conversation about the WNBA and how media portrays them and all that kind of stuff, is that y'all only ever blame the WNBA. Y'all are not blaming their partners, right? We've been talking about Sephora partnering with the W for how long? And then they show up and do it with Unrivaled, and now we're like, Cathy should have did that. Why hadn't Sephora been called them? The girl's been wearing makeup. In the same way with Ally and the banking partners, and also like those corporate sponsors have to want to work with the WNBA. Like, if we're saying that these women are meant to be invested in, those corporate sponsors need to show up. In the same way with these media deals. Everybody was so happy, gung-ho with TNT for picking up Unrivaled. When quietly as it was kept, they did that, in my opinion. This isn't true. I don't know if this is true, but in my opinion, they only did that because they had just lost their NBA TV deal, and they didn't know if they were going to have basketball on their channel. Is that still good for the Unrivaled? Absolutely. But in that same breath, TNT could have been picking up games for the WNBA. They're on the same deal with the NBA. Like, they're in the same media deal. So if TNT cared about women's basketball, they could have did that before Unrivaled showed up. They could have. And the same way with these ESPN and CBS and all of that. Should WNBA advocate more for their other players not named Caitlin Clark or Sabrina Ionescu? Absolutely. Absolutely. But those other media partners, again, those brands, have to want to do that thing. And they're essentially, like, basically, it's not just on Cathy. Like, these other places have to want to invest in women. And I just want to say, I don't disagree with people saying that, you know, the WNBA should be doing more. But also, y'all need to start whacking all these other people, because they get to get away with not investing and not caring about women's sports. And y'all just go with it because y'all gonna be like, well, Cathy should do better. And it's like, no, ESPN should do better. TNT should do better. Sephora should do better. All right, this has been a glorious first episode of Loving Books and Hoops. We'll be back next week with 4 more topics.